Hey everybody, this is Virgil with Sage Insights, where we're going to highlight Southern Idaho businesses, food destinations, and travel locations. Hey everyone, this is Virgil with Sage Insights, and I'm here today with Diana Blaylock with Mama's Best Bakery, and we're just excited to sit down with you. Thanks for coming in, Diana.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I get to have the pleasure of talking to Diana today, actually know a little bit of her story. I had the great joy of selling you guys your home about, 4 or 5 years ago now?
Coming up on 3, actually.
3? All right, time flies when we're having fun. So, yeah, so about 3 years ago, you guys bought that house and you started your bakery right there in your kitchen that you have there.
We started actually in the home we were renting before we
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
yeah.
We were renting a house from some friends in like the north end of town over by the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge kitchen. I was like, yeah. So we started just doing pies and bread, and then once we got into the house you sold us, we were doing like macarons and
yep. So tell me a little bit, where did the whole idea come from for Mama's Best Bakery, and how long have you been thinking about that?
So it was kind of an on the whim kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We went down to 𝘠𝘢𝘨𝘴𝘪𝘭 because they had a You Pick Apples weekend. It was, let's see, that would have been October of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
My husband loves 𝘠𝘢𝘨𝘴𝘪𝘭 apples. You cannot find them in town on the regular for less than $4 a pound. We got them for 30 cents a pound.
Yeah.
So it was the last weekend of the season. We were like, we gotta go. So we came home with 21 pounds of apples. No. Yeah, something like that. For next to nothing. And I'm looking at my husband and going, how are we gonna get through all this? We didn't have any way to store it.
Uh-huh.
We weren't gonna eat them in time. So I was like, let's make pies and we'll sell them on Facebook. And it took off.
Wow.
The post blew up.
Yep.
I got pulled off the post because they flagged me as spam or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got booted from the group. And we decided to start doing challah bread and cookies and stuff. We started doing the farmer's market from there, and it just kind of took off.
How fun. So you hadn't really even thought about doing this business before then?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Prior to that, I was like, oh, I don't want to bake for people. That's so stressful. Ew. So
Did you have a background in baking, or?
I've been baking since I was a kid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, my family's the type, they bake everything from scratch. If
Yep.
you find a box in our house, somebody gave it to them.
Okay, yeah. So you knew, this is my skill set. I have that skill set, so let's bake some pies, and then you put it out on Facebook, and it blows up.
Yep.
How cool. That's such a cool, start to your business. And so you really just fell into it.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And so then you start baking for people, you start rolling out some new product and things that you guys are making, and then what happens?
At this point, it's just more like, okay, hey, have you thought about baking blah, blah, blah? I never thought about doing macarons in my life because they are fiddly little goaters. But I kept having person after person, hey, do you do macarons?
Uh-huh.
Do you do macarons?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I have to try them. So after watching, 5 or 6 different YouTube videos and millions of posts, these are how you avoid all the pitfalls. I was like, okay, well, I'll try them. So it's just been a lot of research.
Uh-huh.
Every time somebody suggests a new product, I'm like, okay, cool. Because anytime we try to throw something out there ourselves, it bombs.
Okay, gotcha.
So
yeah,
we just wait for other people to suggest
to tell you.
stuff.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad way to do it. And so then you guys have been really a staple at the Saturday market, which has now become the market on Main, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so for the last couple of years, you've had a real presence down there. And I've been there a couple times, and I've seen your posts. I've tried to pay attention to what you got going on. You guys typically sell out of all your product, isn't that right? Yeah.
We've had one weekend so far. Where we had
one weekend.
leftovers.
Yeah.
That's been it. And we started in early June.
Okay.
So it's August now. That's a pretty good track record.
Yeah. And so outside of that, you've got the market on Main. You don't have a physical presence at a store or a location at the moment. Mm-hmm. What else are you guys doing to get your name out there, get your product out there at the moment?
We do a lot of events, so I'll be part of the rock, paper, scissors competition downtown. I think that's mid-August.
Yep.
So that'll be fun, and we'll be doing vintage vixens. So we do events here and there.
Uh-huh.
And right now we're in the middle of an investment campaign through Mainvest. So we're
awesome.
building community capital so we can actually get a location.
Yep. So the goal is let's raise some money and let's actually have a storefront and a presence that's a physical location in Twin Falls.
Yep.
And if you do that and you get to that point, what kind of things are you going to feature in the store?
No, we want to have like a used bookstore on the side. I want to do like a little kiddie corner where kids can do like pretend kitchen and moms can have somewhere calm to chat.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
There's not a lot of free places to hang out as
Yep.
a young mom.
Yep.
We want to be able to do like cheesecakes and custard-filled donuts, and right now everything I do has to be shelf stable.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowed to do pumpkin pies at Thanksgiving.
Oh, bummer. Yeah.
So once we have a storefront, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that would be great.
You can really open up what you do, and
Exactly.
yeah, perfect. That's
So
awesome.
The menu's gonna be huge.
Yep.
I'm excited about it.
That's so cool. What are your biggest sellers at the moment? What kind of things are you really like seeing people want? Macarons.
Yeah. Sugar cookies.
We were lucky enough to get a box of cookies today, so I'm excited to dive into those. And so you do a lot of things, though. You do pies, cookies, macarons, anything else? Donuts.
Bread like crazy. I've got some bread rising right now, actually, at home.
Oh, awesome. Do you need to get back and check it, or no?
It's just, I thought about bringing in a showpiece.
Okay. That'd be sweet.
Yeasty.
What's your favorite thing to bake?
Probably
At the
bread.
moment? Bread, yeah.
Especially if there's an extra loaf and I can just kind of tear a piece off.
No doubt.
Away.
No doubt.
Carbs are my thing, man.
So good. We all love carbs.
When people are like, do you do keto? I'm like,
Don't say keto in my presence again.
Seriously.
Yeah. Don't want to hear it.
One day I hope to, because I have a friend who's like, oh, I could do your keto stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're hired.
Yep.
Because I don't have the time to test all of that, but she knows what she's doing. So
Okay.
I'm like, you can get in here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, take me back a little bit. I want to go back in time to, like you said, when you grew up, your house was full of bakers. And I know you're not from Southern Idaho.
Mm-mm.
Could you tell me a little bit about your backstory, and then maybe yours and Mike's backstory together, and then how you guys got to Southern Idaho?
I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
My dad's an accountant, and he was raised in a similar situation to mine. Everything was made from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was fresh, no canned stuff, nothing. So he taught my mom how to bake. She taught all us girls how to bake. And so, like, by, I don't know, age 9, I was making my own birthday cakes from scratch.
That's awesome.
So, stuff like that. Mike grew up in Illinois, so we were like just across the river from each other. Never met until we met online.
Yep.
Because I was a nanny at the time.
Okay.
And had no social anything. He was going to college, so we met and got married a couple of years later.
Let me stop you real quick. Growing up as a kid, you're making your own birthday cakes. What kind of things do you remember as a child that were really like, I just enjoy, like the reality that is baked in my home? Was it cakes? Was it bread? Was it
Yes.
both?
All.
All the good stuff.
My dad. Oh gosh. Okay. So my dad would make this cheesecake that took literally all day because
Yeah.
you had to bake the crust and then the next filling and then the next filling and it. Oh, good golly.
Would he dominate in one of those cheesecake contests?
He would take it to his work every Christmas,
Ooh,
and then one year
yeah.
he was like, "I'm not gonna do that one." They about rioted. They were
Yeah.
like, no, Mike, you gotta bring the cheesecake.
Get it back in. Yeah.
Because he'd bring 2 every year for Christmas, and
Yep.
they just devour it.
Love it.
So, there's stuff like that really rich, like, oh, you can't get this in a store
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So.
Which I love myself, so I'm glad to hear you talk about that kind of stuff, because, yeah, I'm into it. Okay, so fast forward back to now you and Mike have met, you get married,
Yep.
and you're in Illinois?
No,
Is that what you
lived
said?
in St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay.
And we felt like God said, "Okay, it's time to move."
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, where? And we just kind of felt like he said west. We're like, that is so vague. So we're like, okay, well, we'll try Denver.
Head west. Head
West,
west.
man. That was the kind of... So I heard in my head, I was like,
Yep.
okay, well, we'll try that.
Yep.
So we went to Denver, only stayed there for about 6 months.
Okay.
Because the cost of living there is outrageous.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find a good job. So his parents had moved out here in the meantime.
Yep.
His dad works for the hospital, and they're like, hey, we'll break your lease. We'll move you out here.
Here in Twin Falls?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So we did that, and I guess the rest is history.
Well, aren't you glad you moved here when you did?
Yeah. I'm looking at the real estate prices, and I'm going,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's getting up to speed to where Denver was maybe when you guys were living there. Yeah. Yep. Understood.
I'm like, oh, we got a screaming deal in that house.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, then you guys ended up here. When did you guys actually move out to Idaho?
We got here September 2016.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So now
Coming up
just
on
about 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
So it's been fun.
Yep. And so now you've just started this whole brand new venture, and you are rocking as Mama's Best Bakery. Which, how did you come up with that name?
Mike came up with that.
Okay.
Originally we were gonna go with Diana's Bakery, and then
Yep.
we plugged it into Google and found like 5 other Diana's Bakeries. I was like, the SEO's not great with that.
Yep.
So we're just sitting there throwing it around back and forth, and Mike's like, well, you're Mama, and everything you do is the best. So let's call it Mama's Best Bakery. I was like, I like it.
Love
Mainly
it.
because I can't think of anything better.
Yeah. And people have seemed to really identify with that. And
Yeah.
it's been, I think it has a real homey sound to it, which I think is really good just for what you guys are doing. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So, and it's fun because when I go to the farmer's market, everybody's like, oh, are you Mama? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I am. That's great. Tell us, what's happening next?
So the next goal is to open storefront.
Okay.
We've got a space on Main that we're eyeballing, and it'll be like 3,000 square feet. So we can do like a big old kitchen, we can do a seating area, we can do like a used bookstore, and like a little kiddie corner where kids can play kitchen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Moms can hang out somewhere quiet because there's not a lot of places like that around town where you can just sit and be calm.
Yeah. Families, moms are going to love that. So how do we support you in that vision?
You can have it on a website or my Facebook page or the Instagram. We're working towards it, and the community can help out.
Well, very cool. Well, anything else you would like the community to know, or any of us to know, just about what you got going on and what you'd like to do in the future?
Not much I can think of off the top of my head. Like if anybody's got some books they want to unload,
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for used books.
Yep.
So
How about right now? Where can they find you, and what can they do to let you know if they've got something to order? Because they can make custom orders right now still, right?
Absolutely.
Directly with you.
Yep. So, best place to find us is probably our website, which is mamasbestbakerytwinfalls.com. All one word. We've got our Facebook page, which is just Mama's Best Bakery.
Yep.
Instagram is Mama's Best Bakery, all one word. It's pretty simple.
Pretty easy. Yeah, we can find you. And then they can just contact you directly through there, call you, and then, hey, we want to order some. I mean, we know like some of the holidays are coming up, right? So Thanksgiving. I know it might sound like it's a long ways away. It's not. Not for you.
I'm already going, oh, we can feature this on the menu.
I'm the guy, I got to admit, I called Diana like a couple weeks before our events, and I'm like, hey, Diana.
I'm like, oh, there's Virgil.
Yeah, there's Virgil again. Yep.
No, all the Twin Falls does it.
Yeah, exactly.
The week of Thanksgiving is when our schedule fills up.
Totally.
So,
Yep.
I get it.
But be thinking about it, people. If you want to make some orders, call her now. Let her know what you want. And so, yeah, anything like that, they can just hit you up directly, and you can get those orders ready.
For sure.
Awesome. So, Diana, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us here at Sage Insights. It's been a pleasure just to meet with you and talk about Mama's Best Bakery. Real quick, how do we find you at Mama's Best Bakery? What are all the social platforms we can find you on?
Best place to find me would probably be mamasbestbakerytwinfalls.com. Our Facebook is just Mama's Best Bakery. Same with Instagram, Mama's Best Bakery, all one word.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
Okay.
So.
I like it. Yeah, sounds great.